Hi everyone, it's Mark Thompson again, the Gourd Man. This is another in a series of lectures coming from the book I did about the history of the bottle gourd in the Americas. In this case, I'm going to show you examples of what they found at some of these digs. How far do these gourds go back? They've now discovered gourds all the way back to 12,000 BC, in the earliest stage of man's presence here in the Americas. And the Peru, Kentucky, Colorado, I'm going to show you examples of these. They've been doing this now for quite a time, and certainly progress has been made more in the last few decades, and it's changed our thinking about the gourd's presence here in the Americas. Yes, they were wild gourds going back probably 20,000 BC, but Americans started to cultivate and domesticate gourds to make them more useful all the way back to 12,000. And the earliest is at this Florida site. These are not the actual seeds. We don't have pictures of those, but they were bottle gourds. In this case, it was found in the mastodon's mouth area, and they were an integral part to the spread of wild gourds going through North America. And then we have a full gourd back to 5,000 BC, also in Florida. And this is the earliest documented site of a full bottle gourd north of Mexico. Here in Peru, we have another whole gourd with this image that has been sketched out for us to see of a god. Often bowls were used in religious practices, so there were drawings of their gods. In this case, it was called the staff god. Then 1500 BC, we have this entire set of bottle gourds, which were used to help float fishing nets. This is in Peru, and we have a current example of it here in Nigeria, showing exactly how they tied the gourds to the nets, and they helped the nets float out over the fish. Then we have this actual picture. This is a real photograph of a gourd seed from eastern Kentucky, that area in the Midwest, where much of the domestication of gourds took place, and we have many different sites. This one is the other area in North America, which is the Four Corners, where the four states meet. And this is, again, a whole gourd vessel found going back to 1200 AD. And there's other indications of gourds and the use of gourds through the centuries via things like this, a painting showing a beggar with the bottle on his belt, or in Indian garb. This particular shirt shows patterns of the seeds and the fruit on it, showing it was so important to their culture. And finally, we have an example from the military in the 1800s, where they were using bottle gourds to carry their water in their travels. Well, thank you for joining me today. Please send me an email about your thoughts, and visit my Etsy site, because the full book from which this lecture came, covering the history of the bottle gourd, recently published, is on my Etsy site. Thanks for your time.